I had a great life in Syria. I had a big great family, but I don't have any brothers or sisters. I used to live with my parents in a big house. My dad used to work in architecture, and my mom didn't work because we were fine. I mean, and every holiday we used to go in a different place in Syria. We used to travel around Syria and explore more about it because Syria is a beautiful country. It is a great combination between history and nature. And I remember that I loved to go to Old Damascus, where my grandma lives. There, we had the old things, like the ancient things that made Damascus very special, and the most ancient capital in the whole world. Like the small houses, the old. Monuments. I also enjoyed going with my friends every time because, of course, I had plenty of friends. I liked to study somehow. I liked my school. I used to go. Well, in the primary school, I went to a private school. That's what. So there I had to learn English very well and to learn also Arabic. But then I had to go to the public schools in the high school, and it was all girls. So it was a nice school. Somehow you have to study very hard. My favorite subject was the English, I guess. Yeah, or maths. Yeah, and I have the whole school was my friend. Were my friend. I used to go out with my friends in the holidays and at the weekends. Every weekend we went to a different place, and even in the school days, actually, we went to study together. We had a small library in one of the neighborhoods, so we could go there and study. Or even restaurants and cafes, we could study in there and hang out. Listen to music. We did many things actually in Syria. Like, we were free to do a lot of things. My friends and I really liked the music, and especially the English music, the American pop and rock and roll and so and so. We made competitions who will know the lyrics better, and like that. Every Friday we had a tradition in Syria that we eat a traditional Syrian food, and the whole family gather and we eat this specific type of food. And then on Fridays you can't go with your friends because it's a family day, so you have to hang out with your family, with your cousins. On Saturday you have to study, but you might go with your friends. The only specific day for friends was on Thursday. So I used to hang out with my friends on Thursday. I'm a Muslim, and I had many Christian friends and many friends who didn't believe in God, and my friends who were from another type of religions. It was a peaceful country, and a country who had gathered everyone together to, like, it was a kind of united. Everyone was united together. Now I look at my future. I look at the future. It's not like the way I thought about it when I was younger. Like, me and my friends had the idea about studying and taking the diploma and then going outside the countries, maybe to study the university, and then going back to the country to make it better. Like, there is specific things we didn't like in Syria, but then we could change it. But then we had the war, and everything was destroyed. Let's say it. Our dream was destroyed. 5 years ago, the problems were only around Damascus and in small places, like small villages. We so we we used to laugh about these problems and say, yeah, it's just a small problem, it won't be a big problem for us, it's okay. The first year was completely alright, we still had a normal life. Actually, it was the beginning of being a teenager or something like that, so it was completely different. It was an exciting level of your life. And then the second year was also good, but in the third year the problems came into the capital, Damascus, and here my dad's job was gone, and we had many problems. Like the family had many problems, and even walking to get to your own car on the next street, it was a big problem for you, because there were always rockets falling over you while we were walking. I remember one time my aunt was bringing her daughter from the school, and she brought them to my grandma's house. It was a safe place, we can say, because it's near the president house, but in that time there were rockets falling, and she had to hide, and called my dad to help her, because it was a horror movie. I don't know how to say it, but it was a complete horror to us. You feel like nothing has changed, but when you look back, you feel you see everything is completely different. After the problems in my neighborhood, they burned our house, so we moved to live with my grandma. In my grandma's neighborhood, it was the situation was almost safe, we can say, but it wasn't completely safe. My mom and dad were extremely worried. Like, you can't go with your friends anymore. You can't, like, it's a prison now. You can't walk. You have to be to have. To be concerned where are you going. Like, there's many places we stopped going for to it because of this. Like, they closed the routes, they put check control check controllers, so everything was changing, but in a slow motion. But it was changing, and you could notice that the people were sad. Like, you can see the sad faces, even if they were laughing. They had sad faces, and the evil people came out. All of the people in Syria were scared of becoming of what was happening, and even the rich people lost many things, and they become normal people, and the normal people are now poor, and poor people are now dead. Before I used to go out, there was a big garden near a park, sorry, near my grandma's house. We used to play there in the playground, and I used to go with my friends there. But after the war, and in the main time, you could see the military people. The military are walking around in it. And when they put the Czech controllers, they were very bad with people. Like, they really talked in a bad way with people. I remember this story when we were going home, and I was sitting near my mom, and there is one Czech controller, a military, opened the door of the car, and he was like, is this your daughter? He was talking to my mom, and my mom was like, yes, she's my daughter. And he was, is this your daughter? And he was talking like, we were afraid if he said get out of the car, because they used to take girls and do a lot of bad things with them. I was scared to walk alone in the streets, like near my house. I was scared if there was no one with me. I always took my mom, or my dad had to get me where I want to go, or I had to stay at home. And we had a boring routine life, and with combined with fear, mixed. It was a great mixture of fear and boredom, and not knowing what will happen. So we entered in a depression. Even in Fridays, we stopped going to the family houses. The streets were closed, and the military were entered there, and they destroyed everything in there, and that's it. I mean, everything was destroyed, completely destroyed. Like, you had no hope. Like, you had a dream of becoming something, and someone was killing that dream.